This is my newest deep-sea submarine, the Genie. So I found some new exploits. Oh, look, this entrance hatch is underwater. Doesn't that mean our ship is going to flood? No, it doesn't. This is my first deep-sea submarine with 3 different engine modes. We're going to start in propeller mode. So we're going to just turn on those propellers by hitting 1. Propellers are a nice standard fare. They're very reliable, and they'll kick us up to maybe 70 or 80 meters per second, which is plenty fast for most operations. You're not gonna want to go fast when you're actually trying to dive. If we turn on our lights, the horizontal lights will turn vertical the further we get away from the surface, with the exception of the 2 in front, because those don't go vertical. But the rest of these lights slowly go more and more vertical, as you can see. That'll help you keep track of how far away you are from the surface. Now, if we want to take a dive, we can just tip our nose down, and you'll be able to see that lights start turning on the side of our ship. Those are depth indicator lights, which allows you to tell how deep you are in a very, very straightforward way. This yellow marker means that we're past bilge depth, and if we wanted to try and pump out any of our bilge, we have to go back, higher up. There's also a red indicator for when we go so deep that we can't even get out of the boat anymore because our frail human bodies will implode. But we're probably not going to get that deep today. Anyway, what we're going to do now is just turn off our ship. So this ship does have a ballast system, but you don't need it unless you're planning to park. If you're just planning to sit here for a couple of minutes, there's no reason to turn on your ballast. It's only that we are going to end up using up some batteries with this engine that's keeping us here. So if we don't want to use up our batteries over time, we are going to want to turn on the ballast and maybe even turn those engines off. It's up to us. But at the moment, we got plenty of battery left, so we're not too concerned. And even if we run out of battery, it's no big deal. So who cares? It's fine. It's fine. How much fuel have we got? Well, we got 50,000 in the back tank and 16,000 in the front tank. That's not bad. If we take a look, we can actually see both the engines and the fuel tank. Actually, we can just go take a look at the fuel tank. So this is our fuel tank, our aft tank. I don't see any signs of bubbles or air pockets. I think we're probably full up. Let's go into the fore tank. If we go into this fore tank, this is our front tank, and it's also pretty full up. I don't see any problems here either. Yep. Tanks investigated. No problems. Nope. This is our computer section, where we can go down and investigate our computers. There's not really any reason to do so unless you want to manually turn off engines. The only reason you'd want to do that is if you have taken so much damage that the computer room is all that's left, because those buttons are also over here, so you don't need to go down there to do them. Our engines finally finished spooling down. They stay active for about a minute or 2 after you turn off your ship in case you want to turn it back on, but I don't think we want to at the moment. If we take a look at our depth, it's a negative 111, which is past the depth where we're going to need to have some diving gear. So we'll just put it on, and we'll head out, and we'll take a look at the ship. Yep. So as you can see, we've got a couple of things going on. We got the standards. There's the winch. Here's 8 big, heavy rotors. Some depth indicators. It's very cute. You can come out here and investigate it. And in case you haven't noticed, there is a bug where water doesn't get in. It took me a long time to figure out the exact mathematical constraints of how this bug works. To put it briefly, you have to have 2 of these sliding doors, either hatches or doors, pointed in a specific way with a specific amount of airspace on the far side of this other door. And that's the thing we're doing here as well. So the engine's not coming, the fuel isn't coming through from the engine room because we've got airspace and a butted up door. It's quite challenging, so if you want to try and do it, I recommend that you grab this boat and try and figure it out, because it's not hard once you understand it, but it takes a little bit of doing. Now, I did say that this had 3 engine modes. Well, 3 different types of engines. It's also got these water jets, which are inside of the ship, and they actually fire into a small air chamber. So the water jets are, of course, capable of using the high-speed glitch. So that's what we're going to do now. We're just going to grab our helm here and turn our engine back on and ascend. We are out of here. Push! Alright, so now what we're going to do is stop ascending, and we are going to switch engine modes. So now we are using water jets instead of the propellers. The propellers will finish winding down someday here, but the water jets are quite nice. They're much more maneuverable. They give us a lot more control over where we're going. They don't operate at any depth past 50 meters, which is why you don't use them to go down deep. Now, in both modes, the engines are also operating. You can see that healthy, fiery glow here in our bedroom. So, yeah, this is a situation where we have 2 out of 3 engine modes always operating. Now, you might be wondering about the sort of speeds we might be able to reach with these, and I think that you're not going to be too surprised if you've seen my previous videos, because all you really have to do is duck under the water, and you will reach such a high speed that you will die. I've capped it out at around 800 for this particular ship, but there's not any particular reason why you have to stay in the water, except for the small fact that you might want to go fast, and when you're in the air, you can't go any faster than about 100, which isn't really very fast. That's the same speed that you get using propellers. So really what you want to do is try and keep yourself to the surface of the water, just below the surface of the water, so that you can get that nice glitch action and get yourself up to a couple hundred, like so. Now the idea here is that the number of lights on the side of the ship can guide you. You want to be at 2. But it's really quite challenging. This ship doesn't have any of the automated control systems that the other ship did, because I couldn't figure out a way to put them in. It just didn't fit. So if you want to try and go fast, you're going to have to manually do it and pay the piper when you accidentally crash into something. It looks like we took quite a bit of damage, so this would be a good time for us to start shutting things off. I think I'm dead. Okay, looks like we actually managed to shut things off. Alright, so we're done. The engine shutoff didn't work, but we're going to just shut off all of our other engines. And, let's abandon ship. We crashed into an island, right? Ah, there it is, behind the plume. I'm not going to swim all the way there on camera, but I'm sure that you're very happy to know that I survived my, my brush with death. Feel free to grab the ship if you're interested in this kind of thing. I think I casually mentioned about 8 glitches. See if you can name them all if you're interested in that sort of thing.